Hi there. I have a slightly different screen layout for you today. I'm on my main machine, so I've got a bigger monitor to play with and more screen real estate. So as you can see, I've managed to squeeze in the web browser as well. What I've been doing today is carrying on mucking around with the idea of laying or opposing the odds checker picks. Sorry, the Napchecker picks, I beg your pardon. And as you can see, so far in less than 2 hours, we've got a nice profit of £170 thereabouts. We're just coming up to the race at Wincanton here, and you'll see that there's 2 picks out of the field. There's a few non-runners by the looks of things, so the field has depleted somewhat. But we'll see how we get on here, and you'll see that I have assigned the target of Max Liability. Also notice I've used the target of max profit in a couple of races. The reason for that is when I'm setting up the Dutch lay, I look to see what my profit will be against what my liability is. So when I'm laying here, I'm using a maximum liability of 100, and you can see in this case, with these 2 runners being the picks to oppose, my maximum profit is 160. So when that's the case, when my maximum profit is bigger than what my liability is, I use the 25% target of maximum liability strategy. Whereas if that was less than 100, I would use the target of maximum profit. So you end up getting a slightly reduced green up position in those situations. Okay, so we're coming up to post time here, so I'm just going to submit that. Our automation is in place. Just get this out of the way so we can see everything. So as you can see, what we've got 6 races closed out so far, and quite a nice profit. And all of those races had a good chance. Obviously they didn't have the numbers and I wasn't doing it at the time, but they had a good chance of actually trading out if you were Dutching backing first rather than Dutch laying as I'm doing now. All the picks drifted nicely and came in as well. This one's churning along. If I just quickly scan through them, if we switch to the bets, let me move this out of the way a wee bit. I don't need to. If I just scan through these, that one wasn't a winner out of the selections. We did have one winner there. Oscar Moonshine was also a winner. Who was the winner here? Sweet Mist was also a pick that won. The Prairie was a pick, but it was only a single pick by one tipster, so I left it out. And similarly with Reg Heap, he was only selected by one tipster, so again I left him out as far as the lay was concerned. So as you can see from there, some good chances of actually Dutch backing the lay as well. But yeah, concentrating on the laying side of things today. And as you can see, if you care to have a look at doing this yourself, you'll frequently find yourself comfortably in the green for long periods of the race. Okay, there's a good nearly 4 minutes left in this race. This should be hopefully trading out fairly soon, but I'll skip ahead when that happens. Okay, it's just tried to trade out. Hard Frost hasn't been taken as yet. It needs to drift again a little bit more to get the 2.8. I'll give it a few seconds, but I may trade out manually just to make sure I get a nice position. There we go. Nice £30 in that race as well. Excellent. Okay, so I'll demonstrate again on the next race. Okay, they're at the post at Wolverhampton for the 3 o'clock. Let's just bring up Napchecker again. Clearly short price favourite or evens near enough. So let's just, oops, wrong button. Go to the Dutch Lane tool. So we're looking at token S. And with such a short price favourite, I'm tempted just to leave it like that actually. Sea Great Fox has got 2. Yeah, I think I'll just oppose the favourite more than anything else. I'll wait till they start loading, or sorry, going into the stalls, and I'll submit the bet. Now you'll see here, as I was mentioning earlier, with regard to the profit compared to the liability, you can see they're essentially the same. So it doesn't really matter whether I go for max profit or max liability greening up in this particular situation. It should produce the same results, just the way I've configured them. But now that the max profit has fallen just below 100, if I went for max profit, there would be an ever so slightly reduced return. So we'll do that. Submit those bets, get you out of the way. You can see there they're essentially the same, so it doesn't really matter. So just for giggles, we'll go for max profit on this one. And I'll switch back once this race is underway. Okay, we're off and running, and the 3 o'clock at Wolverhampton, 7 furlong race, so this shouldn't take too long. And we should be looking to green up for around about £25, give or take. So you can see we're pretty close to it all throughout this race, really. Just needs to drift a wee bit more. It needs to reach, if I just sit the ladder, it needs to get up to roughly 2.7 for the trade out process to happen. Near enough. Awfully close a couple of times. We're running this one a wee bit close here. There we go, thank you. Lovely jubbly. So that's another £30 in the coffers. Good stuff. Okay, I shall just carry on with this. I may come back later on in the afternoon to do the last couple of races. So I'll see you shortly. Okay, back again for the last 2 or 3 races. It's approaching 5 o'clock and I'm getting kind of peckish. So I think I'll do the next couple of races and then call it a day. So we're looking at Leopardstown, but I've got a couple of minutes, so let me just run through the results that we've had whilst I've been away. You can see there that we've had a couple of losers. This one was a little bit annoying because as I was looking at the race, I kept telling myself, this is not a pick, this is not a pick, but I went ahead with it anyway. So lesson learned, there's a couple of other races between 4 and 25 past that I missed out for the same reasons. I just didn't feel comfortable with them. So you'll see with this one still to be confirmed, we're looking at 300 and a bit profit for this afternoon with a couple of races still to go. This race here is interesting in that that was one of the races where one of the picks shot out to 1,000, so the green up all option wouldn't work. I did try to trade out of the other runner, which ultimately went on to win. I was a bit slow, so I didn't save as much money as I would have liked. But the thing to note here is that the liability there, having traded out of the other runner, that liability is a liability sitting on the horse that's already lost the race. However, if in the process of trading out of that other runner, you don't have this amount of money in your Betfair account, that initial trade out would fail. So just be aware of that if you are ever going to be trading out the individual runner. That one didn't go for me, but this one down here did. Same sort of thing happened. One of the runners shot out to 1,000. The green up all option wasn't available, and all the runners that I had picked actually lost the race. So that one did work in my favour. So I'm in two minds actually whether to try and trade out if that happens when one of them shoots out. Just keep in mind that I've spoken to Ben Teco about the green up all issue when laying number of runners in a field. So they are aware of it, they're looking at it, and hopefully there'll be an update for it at some point in the next couple of months. Other than that, everything has went very well. So we're looking at £322 there. Just a couple of races to go. So the next one we're looking at is this one at Leopardstown, which doesn't look wonderful, I have to say. There's very few tipsters tipping at Ireland today. Superior Force, but this is a fairly big field. What am I looking for? Majestic Colt and Transcendo. So even with those four picked, it's not looking great. Right, so let's do that. We'll do all four, and we'll use a maximum profit. Where are you? Just scroll down a wee bit more. That's the one we're looking for. So we can get that one out of the way. So for £58, this should green up for about £10, give or take. And then the next race is the one at Wolverhampton, the 455. So we'll check that one over as well, see what sort of position we're in. Small field with lots of selections. This would be a no pick for me, this one at Wolverhampton. I'm going to leave that. Yeah, I'm going to leave that one. So the next one after that is the 455 at Northampton. Right, okay, it looks like it will cross. Now that looked like it was greening up, but it doesn't look as if it's been taken. No, it hasn't. Hopefully it'll get taken now though. No. Come on. That was a shame. It got partially matched and not fully matched, so we've lost 57 there. Hey-ho, never mind. Those things happen. Right, we were missing out this one, weren't we? No, it wasn't. It was the one at Wolverhampton I was missing. So it's this one at Nottingham. Let's just quickly see what we're looking at. A couple of minutes yet, so there's not a great hassle. Heath Cross and Peaceful Night. Yeah, the return from that's pretty poor as well. Oh, hang on, I missed that one. Scroll down there. Dog Fox. Right, I'll come back near the time once I've had a wee think about it. Okay, I'm not convinced this is ideal. What I try to do if I'm laying is only choose two, three at the absolute most, but there's only one selection for Dog Fox. So I'm going to leave him off and just oppose these two here. And so that will be maximum profit is the strategy to use to green up. So we're looking at what, £41. So this should green up for about a tenner. And so I shall come back once the race is underway. Okay, we're off and running at Nottingham. So this is the last race I'm going to do this evening. We'll see how this gets on. So just to recap, we've had a reasonable afternoon. £265 profit so far. A little bit disappointing the first or the second half of the day. Started off really well. But yeah, we'll see how we go. So I'm continuing with the experiment of actually laying the Napchecker. I'm getting to the point where I'm in two minds whether it's best to lay them or back them, to be perfectly honest. They both seem to work fairly well. You are obviously going to get the odd drawdown here and there, but they seem to be reasonably consistent. We should green up soon. There we go. That should be it. Perfect. Okay, I'll just take the extra pound or so there. And that gives us £16 to add to the pot. So yeah, we're looking at what, £280 for today. Very happy with that. So as ever, if you've got any questions, just leave a comment and I shall try to get to them, assuming I see them. Okay guys, thanks very much for your time. Bye.